Raider Nation, got some good news for you. NFL games, they kick off tomorrow, and guess what? I know, the Raiders aren't going to be playing, but I want to hang out with the nation, so we're actually going to be doing a watch party on the Raiders Report for Rams versus Bills. The way I look at it, I would say right now the betting favorites in terms of winning the Super Bowl. In the NFC, it's the Rams. In the AFC, it's probably the Bills. So if you want to say that, hey, the Raiders are ready to win right now, you need to see how you match up against both of these teams. And just a spoiler alert, I think I'm going to start doing a lot more watch parties around here because we always have such a good time when, it gets crazy. So let me know who you got. Type LAR for the Los Angeles Rams or BUF for the Buffalo Bills. And hopefully you tune in tomorrow for my watch party entering Thursday Night Football. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and coming up here today, we got a lot of news, rumors. Raiders had a player in for a visit that is just making me smile like you couldn't believe. Before I get into today's show, we got to give some love to today's sponsor. Major shout out to Butcher Box. If anybody out there wants some high quality meats, no antibiotics, and no steroid-infused food, then what I want you to do is go to butcherbox.com/NFL Daily and make sure you use promo code NFL Daily at checkout. For anybody who can't remember that link, it's all good. I got you covered. It's going to be in the description. It's going to be in the comments of today's show. And not only is it high quality, free chicken for a year. I'll tell you about that coming up here in just a little bit. So the reason why I wanted to get you guys a video really, really quick here is because the Raiders had somebody in on a visit. We'll talk about Jamie Collins here in a second. Also, there's been a lot of updates around Darren Waller and a potential contract extension. Then at the very end of today's video, I'm going to give you my projected captains unless it comes out before the video goes out. So in terms of Jamie Collins, I made a video probably about a month ago in terms of the top 3 free agents that I would want the Raiders to sign. They were Darrell Williams, Ndamukong Suh, and Jamie Collins. And for a lot of you who watch the show often, I would say Collins has been a name that I've been bringing up for months and months and months for the simple fact of, yes, he definitely has some ties with some past Patriot regimes that he's been in, but I love versatility, and he is getting up there in age a little bit, but this man can stop the run. He can still drop back into coverage. He can blitz. I could also see him being a player coach on defense, very similar to what Deron Harmon's going to be this upcoming season, very similar to what Casey Hayward was last year. The fact that he's played in multiple, and in quotes, Patriot systems, because remember, he also played with the Detroit Lions in 2020 under Matt Patricia, who also used to be the old Patriots DC, and now somehow that man's calling plays, which is going to be an absolute just shit show in New England. This, though, is really, really awesome to me because Jamie is a player that could really, really help out our defense. Now, when you look at his numbers from PFF last season, an 84.0 overall grade, a run defense grade of 76.8, a pass rush grade of 76.1, a coverage grade of 76.8. Those are, in fact, his actual PFF grades. I don't know how it comes to 84, but if you don't believe me, you can look it up on PFF. Then what about his snaps? Because I love the fact that you could put him in a lot of different areas, and if the Raiders were to use him in 300 snaps, you have him in run defense, pass rush, coverage. He can do it all, and you combine that with Divine Diablo, Denzel Perryman, and Jayon Brown. That gives you a lot of flexibility. Now, personally, I was a little bit surprised that the Raiders ended up keeping Darian Butler, was a little bit surprised of him making the overall roster. If you had a player like Collins, you could see Butler end up getting the boot down to the practice squad. But from a career standpoint, I mean, last season, yeah, it wasn't all that great. But in 2020, he had over 100 tackles, 2019, 7 sacks. But to me, this Raiders defense needs somebody that can force turnovers, and Collins throughout his entire career has been a turnover machine. In 2021, one fumble recovery, 1 interception. In 2020, 3 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery, and INT. I mean, look at some of the turnovers that Collins was forcing. He would be an absolute force up against the Chargers. Now, we always do battles here at Chat Sports because I'm a competitive person, and my goal for this week, I want to see if I can catch the Chargers YouTube channel. The official Chargers YouTube channel. The Raiders Report right now, I get it. We're underdogs. We're behind them a little bit. But you know what? If the Raiders sign Jamie Collins, I'm going live. If the Raiders do anything this week like a Derek Carr, whatever, I was going to say Darren Waller. A Darren Waller extension, I am going live. So help me catch the Chargers YouTube channel. That way I can tell them to suck it. The next thing coming up here on the show is going to be around Darren Waller and his contract extension talks. There's been multiple reports out there that the talks between the Raiders and Waller are seriously heating up. And I'm always a big-time believer where there is smoke, there is fire. As soon as Waller hired Drew Rosenhaus as his agent, you knew something was going to get done. Both sides are extremely motivated to make sure that Darren Waller remains in a Raiders jersey for the long haul, which makes a lot of sense. And I have always said, the sooner you get this deal done, the more money you're going to end up saving in the long haul for Waller, because let's face it, he is a phenomenal tight end. And I'll continue to get into the story here in a little bit, but I got to give some love, y'all, to our awesome sponsor, Butcher Box. And remember how earlier in the show I said take chicken off of your grocery list? Well, listen up to this. Butcher Box is offering our listeners an incredible deal that they've never offered before. Free chicken for a year. You can get 2 pounds of free-range organic chicken breasts for free in every order when you sign up at butcherbox.com/NFL Daily and use code NFL Daily. Claim the deal at butcherbox.com/NFL Daily and use code NFL Daily. When I was a kid, the amount of chicken that I would eat, and I'm being honest with y'all, I didn't taste beef until I was 12 years old. I can just picture my dad sitting there like, where the hell was this deal when you were a kid? Dad, luckily for you, now we got some high-quality meat here at Butcher Box. So please, y'all, I promise you're going to absolutely love it. If you're somebody that goes to a grocery store, you're looking for organic, you're looking for those non-GMO type of products, Butcher Box is going to hook you up, and it's super simple and easy. I'm a busy guy. I like to be able to come home from work and bang, there's a box of food just sitting there right on my porch ready to rock and roll. So get started, butcherbox.com/NFL Daily. Now, there was a big-time move that also happened today around the NFL, and the reason why I'm talking about it here because it could potentially impact Darren Waller. Dawson Knox, tight end of the Buffalo Bills, he signed a 4-year, $53.6 million deal, $31 million guaranteed. That makes him the 6th highest paid tight end in the NFL. The reason why that's important is technically Dawson Knox is getting paid more money per year than Darren Waller is going to get his next 2 years on his contract. And the number that I've been saying Waller in terms of making sense is $32 million guaranteed. That still does align, but this might be going up a little bit more because, guess what, a new contract happened. Now, one thing that I've always loved about Waller is he's going to go out there and he's going to play. And he was asked, I believe yesterday or 2 days ago, are you going to be playing week 1? And, he kind of smiled, and he said, whether it's going to be, or whether it goes one way or it doesn't, I'll be playing football. Waller has shown up to non-voluntary things the entire offseason. If you don't think that this guy wants to be a Raider, you got to face it. I talked about this on Locals a little bit. The Raiders changed his life. This man was definitely a struggling addict, and he's turned around his life for the better, but the Raiders gave him a chance, and I really think that he wants to show them that, hey, I want to finish my career in silver and black. So will Waller sign an extension before the Chargers game? We've seen reports that it could happen by the end of the week. We've been talking about this, though, for months. So I'm not going to hold my breath on it. I'm going to give you my answer here, though, but I want to know from the nation first, why for yes and for no, will Waller sign an extension before the Chargers game? All right, let's talk about it because I'm actually going to give it 3 just win babies. I believe it's more than likely going to happen. I can't give it 4. I am going to say, though, it's like an 85-90% chance that it gets done. The fact that multiple sources are saying that a deal is close. Drew Rosenhaus, in my book, is the best in the biz. Waller wants to be on the Raiders. The Raiders would be dumb not to give him an extension because I really think in a year or two from now, you're going to see tight ends making $20 million a year. When Kyle Pitts signs his extension, mark my words, $20 million per year. So you're going to go back and you're going to look, all right, if we give Waller right now $16 million per year, you tack that on to his 2 years, $12.4 million for Waller. Come on, man. That's an absolute steal. Now, Waller, Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, I'm hoping that they're going to feast this upcoming weekend. It really could be determining on how healthy the Chargers secondary is, and one of the star players that they added this offseason was J.C. Jackson. And earlier today, it was reported that he's not going to play, or it's very, very unlikely. Here's the thing, though. Jackson's already walking, or his walking boot is off, so he's walking without the walking boot. Say that a few times fast. Not only that, apparently he ran off the field and his day-to-day, according to their head coach, Brandon Staley, and when he was asked about, is Jackson going to be able to play against the Raiders, Staley said, no decision has been made yet on whether he plays Sunday or not. So I see all that, and I'm like, all right, well, that's kind of conflicting reports. When he originally had his surgery, they gave him a chance to play. But now the boot's off. Apparently he's running at practice. Head coach is saying, well, hey, pump the brakes here a little bit on him being able to go or not. My personal opinion on what this is I think it's Brandon Staley just doing coach speak. He doesn't want to give Josh McDaniels an advantage because if he says J.C. Jackson is out, well, then guess what? Then the Raiders can prepare for him. I'm going to bet my money that you do not see Jackson on the field against the Raiders on Sunday. Somebody who did practice today, which is good news, is Lester Cotton, and definitely was a little bit worried about whether or not he'd be able to suit up and go. It looks like he's going to be out there. If he is, the Raiders did release their first official depth chart on the offensive line, which had Lester as the starting right guard. For whatever reason, if he is unable to go, look for the rookie Dylan Parham to be the starting right guard. Coming up next here on the Raiders Report, I've seen all these teams are dropping captain projections. So guess what? I'm going to give you my Raiders captain projections. I've talked about it on a few mailbags. I've thrown it in a few other Raiders shows here and there. But before I get into my captain projections, remember, over on Locals, I want you to join my community because I'm going to do a NFL Week 1 Pick'em Challenge. And the winner, you're actually going to get a $50 gift card. So all you got to do is join, become a member, become a supporter, and then if it's easier for you, you can go to chatsports.com/week1. It's going to drop you right to the spot where you can get your predictions in on each game, and then every single week we will do a tiebreaker for the Raiders game because I'm sure there's going to be people that, get every game, right? Right? Obviously. So scan that QR code right there. Join my Locals community because what the videos you're going to see today, I already talked about a Darren Waller extension. I did a breakdown of the Raiders depth chart. That's going to be coming out a little bit later. But if you want even more exclusive Raiders content, I will admit it is probably for diehard Raider fans only. Scan that QR code right there with your phone and get tapped in. Let's look at now my captain projections. I'm going to go with 6 names here. And I went 3 on offense, 3 on defense. Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Darren Waller. Carr and Waller were captains last year. Then you got Denzel Perriman. I think he's going to get the nod. Chandler Jones will get the nod. And then Max Crosby. Those are your 6 people to me that I think are absolutely locked and loaded. In terms of some honorable mentions, I believe Colton Miller deserves to be a captain. It's just he is very soft-spoken. I think Daniel Carlson makes a lot of sense from a special team standpoint. Jacobs was a captain last year. Deron Harmon's like that father dude. And then Hunter Renfrow. Those are my honorable mentions, but hey, let me know because I know this. I guarantee I left somebody off the list, right? So let me know. Who did I leave off the list for my Raiders captains? And a friendly reminder that if the Raiders sign Jamie Collins, if they do anything, I'm going live here on the Raiders Report today, tomorrow, and if that doesn't happen, I will see you all tomorrow for Bills, Rams, Thursday Night Football watch party here on the Raiders Report. It's going to be a lot of fun.